Hello, my name is Jennifer, and welcome to the Penthouse makeover, or perhaps more to say, Penthouse update, as we update it with things from the Parenthood years, or mostly from the Parenthood years. This is going to be setting up the Penthouse for Season 2 of R.T.C, the Parenthood years, and I just picked that was a new wallpaper, I believe, from wall covering for sure, from the Parenthood years that I added to Arabella's room. And here I'm just showing the different types of this type of tile that are there, the different color schemes, also trying to figure out which one I'm planning on going with. And then there is another tile there, and it's finer there, so I just sort of just in that one spot just sort of showed some of the color schemes that are there, but I decided that I like the one with the mismatched bricks is what I end up going with, or the first one where I have them all different ones across, but I don't use different ones. You'll see that I use that one. I missed that spot and put it there. But I don't do the whole area, just mainly that only the kitchen area, not mainly, just the kitchen area. And I noticed that there is a new door that comes, and unfortunately it's only white with different colors of things on it, but the door itself is only white. It would actually have been nice if they would have brought that in different door colorings too. And there's two new windows with the pack, so they're there to compare the two of them. But we don't need windows, we have plenty of windows in our place, so that was just to sort of show what's there, and I'm just looking through and not really seeing much else. I might have missed it, but oh, there's just sort of, you can see some of the rooms that come with it. There's like a kitchen, an eating kitchen, a living room, and I think there was a couple of bedrooms. The second one was a bedroom in the first one, and then there's this journal book. And I realized that Arabella has nowhere in her room to put it, so I decided to leave it for now, and that's that board that you use for doing timeouts and disciplining kids and stuff like that. But you can also leave notes and leave drawings on there, things like that. And that's one of the bookcases that come with it. So I just sort of showed off some of the colors there. I don't think I end up using that bookcase in this build. And there is one of the two dressers. There's that dresser. And then they have this little, it takes two spots, but it doesn't because it's narrower. I really like the one with the flowers, but I, in the end, decided to go with that one there. And pink for Arabella's very pink room. And I don't think I put the journal on there right away, but that was why I ended up adding that to it. And I realized that we have this bathroom that we never finished. We actually have two bathrooms that we never finished, so I add some lights to the bathrooms. And I put that shower over there, the all-in-one shower. This is what was Mason's bathroom, and if Mason comes back and visits us again and stays for a while, this will become Mason's room, most likely in the future. And that's one of the new sinks. I just decided it was too small in there to show off the sink, so I came over and found this spot on the wall just to show the different colors. I do try and use that one sink that's sort of open, but it doesn't actually end up working very well in a bathroom because it sits a little high, so when I try to put the mirror on it, the mirror sort of goes into it. So that I use that one with I think there were elephants on there. They're a very cute new shower bath combo that came with it. And I do put that sink in that room, that new sink, but later on in that bathroom, I should say, to be specific. There's all the single beds. There's two types with all the different colorings, but I don't tend to use single beds for my kids because they tend to be more likely to get monsters under the bed. And a little chair that I do use in the room. I don't really change the coloring here. I guess I changed it a little bit. This is with the new sofa, and then there's also a new love seat. And I don't end up using either of them because it doesn't really suit the space. And that couch that is there was one that Dimitri got from work, and it's got a fairly decent comfort level. I tend to like to get furniture that has higher comfort levels, which does limit what you do when you're decorating and whatnot, but I just ended up staying with that. But for then, I was like, I can't decide, I'm gonna go do something else. So I take a look, and I realized they have this big square coffee table, which I really, really like. There's two versions of them, and I'm sort of scrolling through the different colors that they have, but I keep the one that I took in the first place. Kind of all over, because as I see new things, I'm like, oh, let me do that, let me do that. This is the upper cabinets, and it obviously doesn't. It's the upper cabinet that came with the Parenthood pack, which isn't like matching to the bottom one, but I don't particularly like the upper cabinets that come with those counters that we have. And I thought, well, they got gray and there's gray below, so I thought it would, go well enough. I think it goes well enough, so I ended up using that for the top because I do prefer it. And I was trying to see if I could go across so that that was in it, but it looked funny. I like that's the hood that comes with Cool Kitchen, and it's a light, so I really like it for the fact that it's a light, but sometimes it's hard to build around it with counters. And that was the 2 different counters that came with the pack. But because we were like starting with an existing place, I just left what was there. I like the counters we have already. But around the hood, I decided to use some shelves to put some clutter, because I like to keep my clutter off the counters if I can, because I find sometimes the clutter on the counters can get in the way of Sims doing things. So I tend to put little shelves and put a lot of the little clutter. Not that you can put all the clutter on there, because some clutter just doesn't fit on those shelves and you do need to put it on the counters, but I tend to keep that kind of to a minimum, just for gameplay reasons. I tend to go for gameplay reasons first, and then, you know, looks second, though I like it to look nice too. And those are these new little cute lights that come, and I show them a few times. In the end, I do find somewhere to put them, and that's that. I thought that looked nice for that corner wall. The little, I think it's supposed to be a message and a mail slot thing, and obviously it's not functional. I keep pulling these out and I don't find a spot to use them. In the end, I put them over the closet in Arabella's room. It looks nice over there, but it takes me a while before I realize that that's a good place for it. So you'll see them pulled out a few times. And that's the new mirror, and I put it there, but since this will, you know, when this is essentially Mason's room for when he comes to visit, so it's going to be kind of done for him. And so I went with a plainer mirror for this room. It's also a guest room in general and not necessarily a young kid's room. And that doesn't work because of the mirror, so then I move it over there and leave it white. I just essentially decorate this with towels and whatnot. Pretty basic. It is a guest bathroom. And that was our old shower that was in the other room. And I'm looking at some of the wall decals and stuff that came with the pack, and none of them really suit. I don't know that I put anything on the wall. I think I leave that plain. And this is our little playroom that we have for the kids, and they have these little trees which are cute, but they don't have, the colors are more they just have different color leaves and stuff. And then I decided I wanted to change that floor a little bit. It was originally a basketball area. Before we moved in here, it was never like that when we've been in here. And then I come back, that's too big. And I just add little bits of clutter on there. And like I said, I'm a bit limited because only so many things go on the shelves. You can use like the 9 key to lift things up, but I find sometimes I can't be bothered, and that's huge. And I do put it out later. It's like a toy basket, but it's not. It's just decor. It doesn't function in any way that I'm aware of because I haven't played with it, but I assume since it's in the decor area that it has no function. So the little spice rack and the little pepper jars, I think those things came with Cool Kitchen, and then the cookie jar is, I think, base game. And those little books, the little salt and pepper thing there. I can't know if that's Cool Kitchen or Dine Out. It might be Dine Out, I'm not sure. I can't remember off the top of my head where the different things are. And then this is a new fridge that comes with Parenthood. And it took me a while to figure out what color matched, just because of the lighting was a little bit funny. And then I wasn't sure if when I found the gray that I liked the color of the fridge, because of course my appliances are kind of a stainless steel type thing. But that's the one I end up using because it looks like it's the closest. And then I decided to add a few more appliances for them because I don't have, all they have is that ice cream maker, which can help them lose weight. So I add the coffee maker from Get Together, and of course to use the coffee maker or the espresso maker from Get Together, you need to have the coffee bean that grinds the coffee grinder. That's what it is. And I look at, there's a few new lights in there, and in the end I put that light to replace the light that I had there because I figure it's cute and it looks good. And then this is the new night light. There are 2 of them, but this is the one that has the lights shining, which is really cute. So I put it in the baby's room, which will be a toddler room once she becomes a toddler, and one in Arabella's room. Not that she needs it, Arabella, because she does have a double bed. And that actually came from City Living. I really wish there were some under cabinet lights in the game, because nothing they have to me really works. And I know you can use the debug lights, but I prefer to use like actual lights that you don't have to go into the debug menu to get lights out. And I prefer real lights. I like the way they light better. But I give up and realize it seems bright enough, it'll be fine, I should be fine. And then I have that board that I put out earlier and realized it probably kind of needs a little table underneath it, because if it was real life, you'd probably put stuff on it. Mind you, this maybe should be at the door. Maybe that's where I should put it, but I put it in the kitchen for a sort of a central area for them to be doing stuff. I had a hard time trying to figure out what would fit there. I thought that fit, but then I remembered I liked this table from the movie night stuff. And in the end, I do go with the table from bowling night, because I think it sort of fits. The other ones are either too narrow or too wide. That is the new table from Parenthood, but I also don't use that because I decide I want one that takes 3 tiles so that it can fit or seat, I should say, 8 Sims, because we do already have 4 in the family. If Mason comes back, that would be 5. We have another new boo for sure on the way, possibly twins. We might have guests over, so I just figured that 6 wasn't big enough, so I went for the 8-seater table. And I grabbed some stuff out of our inventory because we already had some potty chairs, and we already had a toilet garbage that I like to keep by the potty chairs because it makes it more efficient when you're dealing with toddlers. And that's where I realized that sink sits a little bit too high. I don't know if you noticed it, like cut off the bottom of that particular mirror, so I end up using the other sink that came with the Parenthood pack there instead. So I use that in both of the 2 bathrooms that I just furnished today. Even though they were there, I had never furnished them. And I had a little hand towel. And I'm not sure where I'm going now. I think I'm going back to put some chairs around the kitchen table. I didn't know. I kind of wanted something that was comfortable, but also comfortable in terms of like the number of comfort it gave in the game, but then also suited it. And I think in the end I decided that table that I had taken, the coloring didn't match any of the chairs that I like. So this table, I think maybe from Cool Kitchen, I can't remember for sure. And I am able to find a chair that is decently comfortable and that kind of matches, but then also goes with the kitchen in general, because you have sort of those colors over there. They're sort of a peachy, pinky greens on the wall, so I was trying to bring that in. Those chairs that are around the island, there you go, they get turned to that green. That is from Cool Kitchen. The chair itself is from Cool Kitchen, and I changed it to that green, which is from Cool Kitchen. But I decided to leave the high chair the way it is with the red because the color of the wood suited it better, and not necessarily going to have a high chair match your table. There's a cute little decor plate that comes with it. I thought that hand was really cute. They were all cute, to be quite honest, but I went with that. And a new fruit bowl and a new, bread holder. I ended up going for the plain one, not the cutesy ones. They're nice, but I just don't think it really suits the look of this penthouse. And that is a new area rug that comes with it. I don't end up staying with that color. I do change, but there you can see some of the other options that come there. And I don't know if I use that carpet and change it or if I no, I do. So I just go for a dark one, very plain. Like I said, I wasn't really interested in changing the whole decor of the place. I was just trying to see what in the Parenthood pack fit with what they already had. And I put that table in there, but it is actually, I thought that was a table that they did the school projects on, but it isn't. It's actually for toddlers to do blocks. So I can't figure out where to put that violin, and I end up putting that such kids violin into Arabella's room. But later on, not today, but like when I'm playing, I realize that is for toddlers, and I move it into Nikki's bedroom because she will become a toddler pretty soon. And I was looking at these, and about half of them are for teens and about half of them are for kids. So they are like split between what they are. And I put that out thinking it was something different, but I think it's just another activity table. And it's a new little teeny light. And I'm looking because I'm trying to figure out how they work, because I didn't know if I need to put one out or not. But for now, I left them in. And then I put that on essentially Mason's desk, even though Mason's not with us. I thought it was cute, and I did put, Mason is actually still here if I remember correctly, and I put out a journal because I meant for him to bring it with him as sort of birthday present, but then I forgot. And I was thinking about replacing the stove, but then I realized the stove we had was higher quality for food, so I just left our stove. I switched the fridge, but I left the stove where it was. But if I was poor and stuff, it would be a good, and didn't have a lot of money, it's a decent stove when you're starting out because it was reasonable, but it didn't seem like there was any purpose of like downgrading to a stove that wasn't as good as the stove we already had. And I ended up giving Andi and Dimitri's room a small makeover. I give them, this is actually from Vintage Glamour, it's the table, but it's also kind of fun with the kids because they put makeup on and stuff like that, so I thought it did kind of suit the theme of the parenting, because the kids do use this table, and honestly they don't come to the table, they just go sit at other spots and put the makeup on. They do get embarrassed because they don't do a good job some of the times, or they get embarrassed when they don't do a good job. And if these are these fish, I think they may be from Dine Out. I just thought they sort of, I liked how it matched the curve of the table. I thought it looked kind of nice on top of it. And there's that cute little, flower that's supposed to look homemade to put on their dresser. I thought that was good. And then I end up putting these, that decor toy bin and that decor mess out on the ground. The kids can make messes, but there is also that decor to just make it look messy, because that's essentially becomes the kids area. But then I come back here. I'm trying to look, I think that's like supposed to be nail polish, and I do grab it there, but I just can't move it where I want it to go, which is up on the sort of upper level there. So I end up grabbing just a little picture and putting it there and leaving the nail polish where it is. But, and there's like a fireplace and some other things which you can kind of see very briefly. And this is where I realized that I have a spot to put those lights. Like I said, I put them over Arabella's closet, which I think is kind of nice. And I see there's some more decor, and the one is like two short ones put together, or I could have put one long one, but I like the two short ones together over the closet. And I thought that would be a good front door mat. And then when I saw the whales, I was like, that is probably meant to be in the bathroom. I put it there in the pink, because the pink sort of brings out the pink that's in the curtain. There's lots of colors in the curtain, not just pink. But, and there's some shears. They don't work with our windows, because our windows are like wall to ceiling and way too high. And I just rearranged some of the toy stuff to put it over in this kids area that's here. And there's a couple of more things, and that's a cute little thing for hanging pictures. Not really, it's just a decor area, but it looks like they're hanging pictures, which I thought was also very cute. But I think we're kind of winding down. We've taken a look. I end up getting the same couch that we had before. I do hem and haw about whether I should use one of those, but in the end I just used the matching plain couch and leave it there. That doesn't come in a lot of colors, which is why I just stuck with what I had. Very plain to combat the mess. And here we have a little short tour of the main rooms that had a renovation, which was the living room. And you can see this sort of kids area off the behind the living room area, because I find kids do like to actually be around you when they're playing, as opposed to in their own space, until they get older, of course, and they maybe like to be on their own space. And this is a little, there is still a small play area that they have, but it is quite small. And then we come out to the hall and take a look, and there's the kitchen that's been updated. We still have the same counters and cab and lower counters, but there's been a color overhaul, and our new big dining table versus the small one we had before. There is the ability to set the table in the game, which is one of the reasons I thought it would be good to have a new table. And of course they're all in bed because I'm doing this while they're sleeping. So there's Andi and Dimitri's room, and I go zoom right through the walls, and there is Arabella's room with those little flowers, or the little lights over the closet. And you can see a couple of the new things, the new dresser, the new night light. But that's it. We're going to have a couple of more screenshots of the main rooms. And I'd like to thank you for watching. And coming up later today will be part 1 of Season 2 of R.T.C, the Parenthood Years. And you can see them in action in their newly updated penthouse apartment. Thanks very much for watching. Bye! If you have any comments or suggestions, please leave them below. I'd love to see them. If you like the video, please leave a like. And if you'd like to see more, please subscribe if you haven't already done so. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks very much.